Hi, I'm CJ Altenberg with Transwest Truck Trailer RV in Frederick, Colorado. We appreciate you tuning in this morning. Today we're going to go over a Cimarron Showstar LX. So this trailer just arrived here. In the LX model, your standard height is 6'4", standard width is 8 foot, and this trailer here is 25 foot on the floor. So what we did is we did a 5-foot front tack room on this one, and then this is a 10 pin. This is an adjustable, so 60-40, 50-50 setup here. But these LX 10 pins have kind of been the go-to over the last couple years. We try to keep a couple on hand, couple on order, I know we've got one with air ride coming. We just sold it here recently, so we reordered it. But these pin systems are such a good design. They're really well equipped. So if you've got some small animals, some hogs, some goats, some lambs, you know, this is a really good setup here. There's some things we can do to it if you are wanting to cross over and maybe haul a couple show calves. That'll kind of point out a couple things that we could do to this trailer. But again, this is a very well equipped Showstar LX we have here. So this trailer isn't just a standard. We've done a couple things to this trailer as far as options go, over than, you know, just the standard options. But we always feel like these little add-ons really add a lot of value to this trailer. We understand how you're going to be using this trailer. We want to put these things on here that are really going to make a difference for you and you're really going to like, especially if you're showing off this trailer here. So the very first thing is, on these LXs you get a standard electric over hydraulic jack. So it's really nice because, you know, pushing a button up and down with this trailer, it really is handy. And one of the main reasons why is we understand a lot of families, you know, might have some smaller kids as you're going to some shows, so it's pretty easy for mom or dad to be backing up to this trailer, you know, one of the kids spotting them, telling them exactly where they're at, and instead of having a hand crank, or, you know, you have to put it in park and maybe the truck rolling a little bit, you know, you can just sit there with your foot on the brake and they can reach up here and hit the button and go up and down. So that's really, really nice. We really like these. There's also a manual override on these, so if you do get in an emergency where batteries are dead or you can't get power to it, you can actually manually crank this trailer up and down. You get a battery box for that as well, so nice, and you know, stores that battery out of the weather. We've gone in now, as we're moving forward on the 22 models that'll be coming out later this year, the battery disconnect will be standard on those. But up to this point, we have actually added those battery disconnects on, and we really like adding that on from the standpoint of, you know, when this trailer's parked, I can turn that battery disconnect off and I can kill this trailer. That way, if a light gets left on, we're not draining the battery, and then you try to come hook up, battery is dead, can't get it up and down. So we really like that feature there. One of the other things we've done and I'll show you a little bit in the tack room, but you see these two bars coming off of here, these feet. So what you can do is you can put a portable generator right here. And why right here makes so much sense is because right up above it, back there, is your plug for your 30 amp power, which I'll show you that package inside, but we've put power to this trailer. So again, we understand, you know, a lot of these shows are going to, you know, you actually have to show off the trailer, so now you really don't have stalls or anything like that you're unloading this trailer and then having to show right there from the pin. We understand you're showing off the trailer, so what we want to do is we want to do some things that are going to make your life a lot easier. So again, you can put a portable gen on there. We actually sell an Onan 4000 portable. There's also a smaller one, but that 4500, if you did decide to add an AC unit to this trailer down the road, you know, that's enough power to power that with that 30 amp power package. But then we put some outlets in the stall area for you as well, as you're getting animals ready to go to the show ring. So like I mentioned, 5-foot front tack room here. Up here in the nose, there's that breaker box for that 30 amp power. Comes with the 30 amp cord. That's a 25 footer. So even if you're not hooked onto the generator, and if you've got another power source, you can plug that in as well. But again, as you're showing off of these trailers, again, we wanted to do some things that are going to make life a little bit easier for you. So up Over here on the driver's side wall, you've got a shelf. There's also a lip there. So as you can see, things aren't going to slide off of there. And then there's a clothes bar underneath it. I understand you're going to probably be traveling with some change of clothes for the kids. They can hop in this tack room and do that. Comes with this 4-inch tube that goes across the gooseneck, so items aren't going to be shifting off the gooseneck deck as you're driving. Then you've got a 12-inch boot box that goes all the way across. Good storage for little miscellaneous items, kind of keeping this maybe the floor a little bit cleaner. Again, holding those smaller items, and then also it works as a nice step hopping in. We've gone in and carpeted this whole partition wall as you go into the tack room. But as you can see, we've incorporated some of this airliner track in here. So these are really nice because we can add kind of some different hooks and items like that. Cimarron's created a fold-up bucket rack that'll attach to these as well, but it's good, you know, just place to put things up against this wall, move those around, strap things to it, so it just keeps everything nice and secure as you're going down the road, rather than things falling over if it's not, you know, not stored properly anyway. These nice big utility hooks as well. These are nice and deep. These are good for like hoses, big cords, items like that. These are aluminum that are powder coated, so it's not plastic. Those are nice and stout there. And then you have your pass-through door that goes into your stall area there. So again, just nice for, you know, going in between the two if you're getting animals ready, kids needing to change, you know, getting feed ready, heading in that way into the stall area. You're not having to go around the outside of the trailer. You can go straight through, which is, it just makes it really handy from that standpoint. LED light in there. You also have this step going in to the tack room, again making it just a real nice easy transition from the ground into the tack room. Again, a lot of times we have our hands full with stuff. It's just easier getting in and out. Smaller kids, making it a little bit easier getting in and out as well. Then the other thing I want to show you is the gooseneck drop wall. So we talk about it time to time, and one of the reasons why it is so important is these trucks, the manufacturers continue to make these trucks taller and taller with their bed height. So on this trailer, this is a low pro trailer. So we understand that we're putting smaller animals in here. So what we want is we want the trailer a little bit lower to the ground. We don't want to get it clear up in the air, because also it changes the angles of our ramps. It puts, you know, a steeper angle getting those animals on and off. So one thing that we've noticed over the last couple of years is trucks keep getting taller, and we're having issues with bed clearance or having the trailer running level. You get one or the two. There's no kind of in between. You either have this trailer running level and there's barely any clearance to the bed, which could damage the bed, and these trucks are expensive. Nobody wants to be replacing one of those. Or the trailer's running uphill to get you bed clearance. Well, now we're running on the back axle. With all that weight on that back axle, it's not good. You know, you have the potential of damaging an axle, and that's not cheap to replace. So the industry standard over the years from the bottom to the bottom of the box here has been 50 inches. But what we've done is we've gone in on some of these trailers and we've made them 53. For the most part, on all of our horse trailers here, a lot of our stock trailers, not so much our living quarters, but on these trailers as well, we've gone in and done 53. So we can level the trailer out. We can adjust this coupler to get you plenty of bed clearance. So again, not damaging the trailer, the truck, anything along those lines. Now, there are some circumstances where we get into maybe some 17 5-inch wheels. We get the trailer up a little bit with axle articulation, or air ride trailers when we pick the whole box up 2.5 inches when we air it up. So there's kind of some circumstances where we won't do the 53-inch gooseneck drop on these. But for the most part, like on this trailer right here, we've done that. And again, it's so we're not damaging, you know, your truck or the trailer itself. So this is a white skinned trailer, and it's also polished. So you notice the top rail, it's a little frosty this morning, but top rail, bottom rail, and then the extrusion below the windows there, that's all polished. So it gives it a really clean and sharp look to this trailer when you're going down the road. We added a few more LED lights, marker lights on the top rail there for you. And then you'll notice there's a load light right above that tack door and right above this ramp. These are doors right here we're going to be going in and out of quite a bit. We understand at times you need a little bit of lighting there, so that's a nice option to have right there. There's some on the back that we'll show you as well. Of course, you've got your side ramp. That's standard on a Showstar LX. And then you've also got an additional gate over that ramp. So again, if you're loading, offloading, but again, if you're showing off this trailer, you know, with all these drop windows, the side ramp, the escape door, we can open this trailer up, get a lot of airflow through there. You know, just trying to keep everybody, all those projects nice and comfortable. On your LXs, you get the drop windows. Those are standard. Gives you a nice big opening with those jail bars in there. Again, a lot of airflow through this trailer. And then there's a lower air gap. So over the years, this used to be plexiglass, and you'd have to remove the plexiglass, store it, potential of damaging it. But we really, really like these fold down aluminum slats. They're on a gas shock. So in some of these mornings where you leave the house and it's really, really cold, but it's going to warm up over the day as you're traveling, you know, it's really easy to stop and hop out and open all these up. I mean, you saw how quick that was right there. I mean, you can go around and open this whole trailer up to create a lot more airflow in here. And the reason why this lower gap is so important is because, you know, these small animals, they're down here. So we need to get that airflow with those roof vents that I'll show you in here in a little bit, force that air down and get it down here to them. With the plexiglass, this is a lot narrower as well. With this aluminum fold down slat, you get a bigger air gap here as well. So again, just anything we can do to keep the animals nice and comfortable, we're going to try to do that. So it comes standard with 16-inch wheels. Aluminum wheels are standard. You'll see the green tabs on the tires. These are nitrogen filled tires. They're also balance tires. The vendor that Cimarron uses, Lion's Head, what they do is not only do they balance, fill them with nitrogen, but they stand behind them. So if you have a blowout, you catch a nail that can't be patched, within the first year, no questions asked warranty, you get a new tire. You take some pictures of the code, send it in, they'll send you a new tire in a couple days. But what's interesting about that nitrogen is it doesn't allow PSI levels to fluctuate drastically. You actually see them on airplanes, and think about that, going from basically ground level to, you know, the altitudes that they go to, the temperature differences. They use nitrogen, and that's why, is because it just keeps those PSI levels more balanced. You know, if we throw those out of whack, it's potential of these tires heating up, causing blowouts, you stuck on the side of the road, that type of scenario. So we really like that. If you have to put air to these, if you have a slow leak or something that you just need to put air to it, you can. Then you can get it to a tire shop and they can go ahead and patch it. And a lot of tire shops are carrying this nitrogen, so they can go ahead and fill that up for you after the fact. If for some reason you do have a blowout or have damage to these fenders, these are bolt-on fenders, so they're not weld-on. You can get a good look at some of these bolts right here on the inside there. So again, you know, just from a maintenance standpoint or from a repair standpoint, you know, this isn't going to cost you as much to replace this fender as it is a weld-on, because you have to cut these off, put the new ones on, re-weld them. So it takes more time. But with these being bolt-on, they can swap them out a little bit quicker. So I want you to notice as we walk to the back here, this door. And the reason why I want you to notice that is because we've gone in on all of our Showstars and we put the wraparound hinges on them. And the reason why is, and it was an observation at a show that we were working, that we were inside an arena. So they had crammed all these trailers in this really tight area. And the standard is a welded hinge that comes off this trailer, and it wings out at about a 90 degrees. So that door would be right there. So what we were noticing is it was really hard for people trying to get by with animals. They were always having to shut and open the doors. With this wraparound, you know, it allows this door to get all the way around the trailer and just gives you a nice path on by. And again, we've done that on all of our Showstars. That's just, it's not standard with Cimarron, but it's standard here at Transwest that we've started to do on these. So you have dual 50/50 ramps over these 50/50 doors. So again, you don't have to do one or the other. You can kind of do them about any sequence you want. There's those load lights I was telling you about on the back as well. And then here we'll get into the really cool stuff. Again, this is a 10-pin, and these are adjustable. So this is a 50/50 to 60/40. Right now we have it set up as a 60/40. So you have kind of more of an alleyway over on the right-hand side of the trailer. You know, a little bit bigger pin here over on the left. But what's really nice about these is just how easy it is to manipulate these stalls. The old styles, you were having to unpin, you'd actually have to physically move the gate to this next post, pin them in. It just took a lot. And over the years, they've developed this, tweaked it. Basically, I just broke this gate loose, and now all I have to do is pull, pop it into the rubber socket, and right here we have a 50/50 pin. So it's that simple. So they've made it very, very easy to use. I mean, it's almost a one-hand operation. We understand that you usually are carrying stuff or trying to handle something, so it's just, again, they've just tried to make it as user-friendly as possible. So with these pins, you can kind of weave animals in and out the way that these gates swing. We can take sections of these out. I basically just break it loose, unpin this, and out it goes. I can take all these pins out by myself in maybe 5 minutes. Putting them back in, maybe about a 10-minute job. Just making sure they get in the right order. I always joke with everybody, as soon as you get one of these guys, one of the first things I would do is take a good heavy-duty marker, and I would mark my posts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in that order. That's the sequence. I'm gonna put them back in, so that way there's no question asked. You know exactly where that post goes. But some of the things that we've done in here. So let's talk about some of the standard options, and then we'll start talking about some of the add-ons. Standard options, you got your two-way roof vents. I mentioned those about getting airflow down. So you've got them clear up at the top, and then you work your way back. So you have 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 two-way roof vents in here. In this 10-pin, and basically one kind of at the front of each one of them. So they're two ways. So you can open them to force air down. You can open them to allow air to escape. So in the winter time, you know, as animals body heat rises, you can open those up and let that warmer air get out of here if need be. You can also create a vacuum through here on how you manipulate those roof vents and some of your side openings if it's a window or your lower air vent as well. So that's standard. Your LED lights on this one here, moving forward on the 22 models, these lights will be standard. But on this 21 model here, these are upgraded to the OptiBright, so it puts out a lot more lighting in here. And if you notice up by the ramp, that's an add-on over there. We actually put some light switches over there to run your stall lights, and then that load light that was right above the tack door and the ramp. So usually the switches are on the back corner, but we understand a lot of times you're coming on and off there, so it's nice to have a secondary switch. So that over there is going to be an add-on there. Insulated roof is standard on every single Cimarron. It's a 1/2 inch thick. It's got an R3 thermal value. You know, this really will keep your stall area a lot cooler in the summertime. You know, it'll take substantial hail. I can walk on this, it won't dent it, but more importantly, it's the temperature in here. We tell everybody, come in here, 95-degree day here at the lot on this black asphalt, and we can take you from one trailer that has an insulated roof, and I'll take you to another one that has an aluminum sheeted roof. And there is a major temperature difference when you're moving between the two trailers. So again, keeping our animals nice and cool, that is a good thing to do. So let's talk a couple more add-ons here. You'll notice this track here. So what this track is it's actually from the cattle trailers for the traveling gates, but we've incorporated it in here because you'll notice these little brackets that come down. There's 2 of them, and they're adjustable in here, but what you can do is you can take a barn fan and actually attach to this, and then you'll notice that we've got 3 outlets in here, one at the front, one in the middle, and one at the back for our 30 amp power. But what we can do is we can plug those fans in. You can do some other items, you know, if you need to run some clippers or anything like that. You have power back here. But this track is really nice because we can move fans wherever we want. So if you are, you know, waiting to check in somewhere, or you're showing off of this and we're not moving, so then it creates dead air, you know, we can add those fans in here and it can circulate air, just keeping everything nice and cool. So again, we've done the power, that's an add-on. We've done this track as an add-on. A couple little items like that. And one more add-on that we've done on these center gates, there's 2 feeder rods. Now one is standard on each side, but we've gone in and added a second one because we understand that when you bed down, you know, these animals are going to grow over time, so you know, we might have to actually up the height of that feeder. So we just went ahead and did a second feeder rod on all these center gates all the way across here. So I mentioned some people, if you are hauling some cattle, you know, you can remove a post out of here and create a big section for the calves. There's also some gates that Cimarron has developed that actually incorporate kind of the system right here as it is. It's a gate that actually sets on here, but it goes all the way across, and it basically just sets on and pins into this upright post, and you can still, it'll still function just like this. It'll swing, but it gives that little bit taller basically gate, these airflow gates all the way up to the ceiling. We did add in there a frame for an AC unit. I mentioned that earlier. If you wanted to, with it having the 30 amp power and running maybe a 4500 watt Onan portable, there is the framework for an AC already there. So that part of it's already done. It gets a little tricky after the fact going in. It just takes a lot more labor. It's a little bit more cost for us to add that, but boy, it saves a lot of time if you are wanting to do that, because it costs so much after the fact to get that framework braced in. So that's already done for you. And as you work over here to driver's side, there's another good view of that wraparound door out of the way. We've got our drop windows. I'll shut a couple of these doors, drop windows up for you, so we'll get a good look at this trailer. It is sharp with that polished extrusion on there. On the polish, you never want to acid wash it. It'll almost burn this polish. It'll give it kind of a real smoky look to it. So what you want to do on these trailers is citrus wash. It's not as harsh. It'll just brighten it up. The polish does take a little bit more to keep it looking like this. You know, so you either need to take some dry towels and wipe it down so you don't get watermarks on it, or just hop in the truck and go about 80 down the interstate for a little while and just let it naturally happen that way. You've got your escape door with, again, another ramp, or another gate across it and a fold-up step. And then there's also an LED light above that door as well. All those are individual switches. So it's really easy to just turn on the lights that you want one at a time, or light the whole thing up. And then there's that fold-up step. So again, this one here is a 2021 Cimarron Showstar LX. We'll give you the stock number. So if you're interested in it, all you have to do is reference it. That is 5N201022. We also have other trailers on order. We can custom build you anything you want. There's some add-on stuff we can do to this trailer before you take delivery of it. So give us a call. Anybody on the sales team can help you out. That number is 303-684-3400. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.